Hello and welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm just going to show you my approach and my current standing when it comes to my fitness increase and the regain of what I've all lost. So let's jump into my iPad. For tracking my progress, I use the homepage intervals.icu. That is a subscription-free fitness journal. Of course, you can use a subscription, but it is also a huge portion that is free and quite sufficient in my opinion. And you can store all your fitness metrics and activities in it. And if we take a look at it, this is on my iPad right here. You can insert all your activities. The chain is as follows. For me, I currently write a lot of Zwift activities. This is connected to my Strava account, and my Strava account again is connected to intervals.icu. So we have there a complete mirroring of all my activities. Beyond that, my wristwatch is also connected to intervals.icu. So beyond my activities, also my wellness data is reflected here. And if you go at the activities page, we see, of course, all my activities that have been conducted by me in the past. In the free version, historic activity synchronization is limited. So this is the reason why I'm currently only have information dating back until week 20 of this year. But still, I believe this is sufficient in order to assess my current fitness status. So let's just scroll over very briefly and we can see my usual pattern across the year. As you can see here, 16-hour week in week 24, 13-hour here, week 23. I don't know what that was. Only 4 hours. Yeah, but still relatively frequent training. Let's just close this because I do not need this for the time being and jump right into week 29. I suppose this is the week where it all happens. We arrived on Monday, the 14th July, had a good ride. The second day, Tuesday, 15th July, also a great ride, 4.5 hours. Before crashing in Grenoble City, and the journey was over. From there on, as you can see, no activities whatsoever for around 6 weeks, but you can see vitality data, steps, sleep, weight, and also my heartbeat, my resting heartbeat. And this is interesting, coming from a resting heart rate of 42. And now I have like a resting heart rate of 47. This is the last week where I was not able to write. And here I was at the doctor. And here you can see I was clear to write again. And I did so on Saturday, my first ride. Astonishing 97 watts for 1 hour, 20 minutes. You probably have seen the little video clips I upped on my channel. If not, just take a look. It's quite interesting. But as you can see, I started here rounding up the week with 3 hours, 7 minutes. Going into the second week of training, week 36, on almost 8.5 hours of training. If you pop that out here, you see the zone distribution, 7 hours and 26 minutes in zone 1, and in zone 2, 51 minutes. Very easy. I was on erg mode and just ran here. You can see this is free mode, and then I went to erg mode. Just ran through the pattern. What was that? 110 watts. And the dips are from standing up and freewheeling because I had like a little bit of butt issues. As you have seen also in the videos, I talked about that. Going back to activities, that was week 36, 37, 9 hours. And as you can see, my resting heart rate whilst training and unfit is around 50, 46, 48. So a bit elevated. We're talking about upper 40s. And usually I have a resting heart rate of lower 40s. This is the last week I've recently completed, week 38, topping at 9 hours almost. Yeah, as you can see, again, resting heart rate hovering around 50, 49, 46. So in the upper 40s. But yeah, let's see how fast my resting heart rate will reduce again to my old resting heart rate area. As you can see, this week was a little bit more intense. We have a value of 48 for exhaustion, and I had a very strong interval on Saturday, 2 hours with a normalized power of 213 watts. So this underlines that I'm again able to sustain higher wattages over longer periods of time, but we come to the heart rate later on because there is a very good shift visible on a certain graph. What else can you see here? You can check your decoupling rates. This is quite interesting. I really like that. Here you can also see the decoupling values. I don't want to go into detail, but if it's beneath 5%, that's a good value. If it's higher, then you are very exhausted and you should think of reducing the power. And if it's in minus, then it's very fit. For me, 3.3 says that little decoupling has taken place. Going back to my calendar panel right here, we also can go into analysis. And I just want to show you one screen that I really like. I set that screen up as follows. We have two graphs displaying my activities from 1st of January to 5th of August. This is basically the time prior to my injury. So from 5th August to a future day, this is the one fraction in red. And then we have a fit historic Stefan, so to speak, against it. And then we have on the x-axis my power, and on the y-axis we have the heart frequency measured in percentage. So this is maximum, this is 60%. And if we go along this graph, we just see a kind of similar pattern here in the lower areas. And then we have like this, again, decoupling of those two graphs. And if we just stop, for instance, here, my older me was able to produce 289 watts on 85.6% of my heartbeat fraction. And currently I'm able to only put out 220 at the same given heartbeat percentage. This would mean that I have a difference of 69 watts for the time being. So I'm not that efficient anymore. And the idea would be that those two lines at some point match again. This would mean I can produce the same amount of power at the same amount of heart power, right? So currently my heart is not as efficient as it has been before, and I'm trying to increase that, of course. And this graph illustrates that very nice. But all those graphs, you just have to be patient and you just have to continue your training, be humble, be very diligent with what you are doing, and just let the time happen. And at some point you are fit again at the point where you have stopped. This is the baseline. All that data is great and nice, but in the end you have to be humble. All those weeks have to be filled with activities. You have to really shovel up the hours on the bike to regain the fitness. All right, I would say I leave it here. Just a little insight into my data If you have some questions, you want to know anything about that, what goes beyond, just leave a comment. Other than that, I would be happy if you give this video a thumbs up. And of course, subscription would be also very much appreciated. With that being said, we will see us potentially in another video. Until then, BCC, cheers.